I am Eon. It is Monday, September 29th, 2025 as I record. It's time to look once again at sci-fi releases that have updated in the realm of science fiction. Grimdark, fantasy, cyberpunk, all the fun things, of course. Aftermath Studios has put out Outlast Monsters, and I do believe this is part of the September release and not a preview of October. Sometimes I get those things messed up. Atlan Forge has shown us Vampire Hunters before we saw some previews of these guys, and now we get to look at some actual prints of them. This is some of the options you can put together, and here's what they may look like assembled. Really cool models. I like these a lot. Curious what type of world they are in that they need to hunt vampires. Not one that I'd want to be in, I fear. Egyptian Velox Dreadnought. Comes with a couple of options. Here's one with sword and shield. And here are all the different options you can put together with that. And the Incarnate of Asgard. I don't think I really need to say too much as to who this seems to emulate. He can be with his backpack or without, with sword and axe, or perhaps more appropriately, a hammer. So there are the various options for this character. Nice detail work. Custom Miniature Maker has put out this texture roller. I did not write down what it is, but like hazard stripes and things like that. In addition, there are these moon crater bases that they have put out that you can put their models on, as well as this kind of runic thing. I did not write down what they said the name was, but pretty cool stuff. Dakka Dakka has put out some new imagery. Satellitum Mech Guards Range Squad 20 monopose models. They're Rockhead Gangs Headhunters, Arabellum Pursuers and Purgators, Styx-Moon Klebinari and Numadari, Arabellum Purgators, Cardinal of Machine Cult, and for the Titan of Mankind tier, we have Nazca the Lone Squaller. Filamentio is kind of difficult for me to keep track of and stay on top of, but I believe these are September releases for them. So the Sphero Fighter Sphere Nation, and then the Suburban Park Deck Pyramech. So they typically have, circles or spheres versus squares or cubes. KMFP Designs has put out Heavy Elite Advanced options, all for the Orbital Knights. And in addition, there's also some Battle Tank Advanced options extra. Loot Studios has updated their logo to this. I'm not sure I'm a fan of the new logo. I don't know. City of Traders is the September release from the September 15th. So here is a look at everything you will get in City of Traders. Vincent the Masked End, Octavia the Smile Griffin, Dorothy the Shadow Bronze, and Dorothy the Shadow Bronze. I think that's a typo. Not my graphic. For the enemies, you have a Protectorate Sentinel, Bartholomew the Grand Lord Protector, Pestilence Scorcher, Protectorate Overseer, and Tank. Vicious Debt Collector, as if there's any other type. Plague Spreader, Madame Amatessa, Protectorate Scyther, Rowdy Bodyguard, and Lou the Rat Herbert. For your terrain or environment, there's a Fuel Platform, Watchtower, Morris Column, Foam Booth, Lady Lamp, Plagued Corpse, and Sky Scorcher. The 4 busts are Madame Amatissa, Lou the Rat Herbert, Octavia the Smile Griffin, and Brawny Braun Heaton, so apparently that was his name. And for a little extra, Onyx Edge Dice Tower. That's actually a pretty nice looking dice tower in my opinion. The Maker's Cult, I do want to give a public service announcement. I have joined their tribe, and I do want to say it is not a mirror of their normal Patreon. I don't think Tribes was exactly what they thought it would be, but they are planning on making the two mirrors in the future. But regardless, I get some pretty cool Maker's Cult miniatures in my library at this point. I guess I should print those and use them, right? What else am I paying for? Universal Guard Experimental Warsuit and Daughters of War Warsuits. Lots of options with these, and here is what they could look like. Mezgike has given us a quick look here. It seems to be the Doom Lord, is it? And there is a super armor big mechanic. It's coming, boss. Moid, because I just think this could work for this as well, is doing books. And while this may not be sci-fi, it is kind of a modern look. So if you are interested in their Isobits line, definitely worth checking out. I like the look personally, but it's not very grimdark. Monstrous Encounters, by I think request of a user, put out House Umbra new weapons, as well as some dungeon tiles, but we'll put those over in the fantasy video. Mr. Modulork has completed the September release with Riot Squad. This is release 3 of 5. 4 of 5 is Dread 209. Oh, look, it's a goblin in there. That reminds me of, what's his name? Smeed from Warcraft. Pretty cool model, though. And for 5 of 5, we have Dirt Buggy. Comes in a couple of options. Always impressive models. Nate Feyma has basically given us this image before, and apparently has now released the Aegis Assault Transport. Papsikels has put out some more models, as they often do in the month. Here are the Wretched Brutes of Wrath, the Quipo Combat Engineers, the Malignant Corpse Guard, and the Quipo Trench Pilgrims. Print Minis is always prolific. City Enforcers, both dead and injured. Some have lost their head. Silent Spectre's Weapons Kit. That snake staff is pretty cool. There's also the Pyroclast Furnace, as well as some floor tiles. Printed Legends put out this release of a Corpse Construct. Now, granted, this is probably more of a fantasy release, but this could easily be applied to any science fiction game. Proxybrewer has put out this banner collection. I felt like there was something else there, but I didn't see it. Red Pilgrim Miniatures has put out Tunnel Rats 2. Some nice just jungle commandos. RedMakers and Adeptus Miniatures has put out September Part 2. This includes the Winterline Forces Imperial Guard. Again, all the miniatures. I didn't even include all of them here. Dwarves Steel Wardens come in 5 different units or poses. And Cultists of the Silent Pyre Kill Squad. Skullforge Studios has Honor Team. There's the Breacher, which comes in several. All of these come in multiple sculpts. Honor Team's the Commander. The Deadeye, so there's your sniper. The Heavy. I feel like the gun could be a little bit heavier, but who am I to say that? I don't have to carry it. The Recruit version A and B. And finally, the Veteran. Is he missing his right arm? Is that a robot arm? Skullforge Studios has shown us the Terran Intrasystem Patroller before, and we saw some preview art of the Grimholt Union battleship. Here's example 1 of how you can build that out, along with examples 2 and 3. Stationforge. Well, I don't know why I was going to say skull. It's a skull, right? Corrupted Guard Dwarves. Corrupted Guard Dwarves. We'll look at a few of these. Here's the Free Guard Walker. You can either have it where you have a rider or where it's enclosed if you don't want to have to paint another figure inside of another figure. And Orca's Helicopters. There's 3 of these guys. Along with Free Guard Mutant Sisters. Why do I think Trunchbull when I look at these? From the movie Matilda. Stationforge has also put out their recycle tier, so basically you can jump in and get a tier and get these models here for a bit of a better price than normal, so a way to catch up on maybe some potentially missed models from Stationforge. Wargames Crew has put out this overall image that I wanted to include here. I think the cheetahs with the outfits are pretty good, and I think a lot of this is inspired by Trench Crusade. I guess it says compatible with Trench Crusade. That might be a good guess, right? Wargame Exclusive has put out Orc Grots Gone Grog. They seem pretty happy. Greater Good Earthcast Bioengineer. I like the fact that it has the actual leaf sample there. Just don't show it to Wally or Evie. Or Eva. Here's a Necro Cyborg Portal Swirl. That's a pretty cool idea. For the $1 set, so you can always get a sampling of models, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Renegades of Excess Penetrator Squad. And this also apparently comes in a not safe for work version. Well, folks, that is our second look at Sci-Fi for the month of September 2025. Is that going to be everything for September? Of course not. There's a few things that I'm just never going to catch up or just going to get released after the end of the month. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.